Soil is basically classified into two groups: pedal furs and pedicles. Pedal furs are basically found in high latitude region, mid latitude region and low latitude region. Now about latitudes you have already learned in class 6. But here I have given you diagram of latitude. And what is latitude? It is the measurement of a part of the earth in relation to the north or south of the earth's equator. These are the rings that are formed. Pedal furs are further divided into three categories. Pedosolic soil. It is ash grey color soil that is found in high latitude region. Now high latitude region are the cold places. Here usually coniferous plants are found. It means that are conical in shape. Then second one is grey brown pedosolic soil. It is very fertile, and where it is found? It is found in mid latitude. Then third one is red and yellow pedal furs. They are found in the low latitude areas. Then second main category of soil is pedicles. They are basically found in three areas: arid, semi-arid and subhumid. Now these areas means arid regions receives little rainfall, that is less than 10 inches of rain per year. Semi-arid regions receives 10 to 20 inches of rain per year. And subhumid means slightly humid or moisture. These are further divided into four categories. First one is found in the mountains. It is undeveloped soil. Second category is very fertile soil. Then third one is black soil that is also very fertile. And the fourth one is sandy soil. Sandy soil is found in deserts. Then we would learn about soils of India. India is having 5 types of soils. So here soil type is given, name area, that is the name of the states where this particular soil type is found, and what are its properties, what are its features. So first one is alluvial soil. It is found in the northern and east coast plains. How it is? The properties are, it is very fertile and it is formed with the alluvium that are brought by the rivers. Rivers are coming from Himalayas. They are bringing with them nutrients and alluvium, minerals. And then these are deposits in the plains. So this is the most fertile soil. Then second one is black soil. Where it is found? It is found in the Deccan Plateau. That is Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. It is also very suitable for agriculture. Example, cotton is grown here. Then is laterite soil. Now this is very poor soil, and where it is found? It is found in Meghalaya Plateau and Western Ghats. Then is red soil. It is reddish in color and not that much fertile, but where it is found? It is found in Peninsular Plateau's western part. Then is mountain soil that we have read earlier. That is, it is found in Himalayan regions in India. It is undeveloped soil. Then the map work is given. This you have to learn thoroughly. So in this map work, different soils that are found in different states, different areas of India is marked in different colors. Soil erosion. Soil is one of the most important natural resources that help in a country's prosperity. But the problem of soil erosion often occurs on our land. The destruction and natural removal of the top layer of the soil is termed as soil erosion. The loose soil particles are blown away by wind or washed away by water. Soil erosion may be caused by natural factors like force of running water or wind. But the main causes behind destruction of this natural resource are faulty human activities. Deforestation, overgrazing, overutilization of soil, unscientific method of cultivation, mining, and construction work all lead to severe soil erosion. Then, soil conservation. Soil conservation is the protection of the soil cover from soil erosion. Its objective is to maintain the quality of the soil by preventing its loss. All over the world, proper land use practices and special agricultural techniques have been adopted by the farmers as well as government. Some of the methods adopted for soil conservation are as follows. So first one is terrace farming. Terrace farming is a farming technique followed in hills. It is done by cutting wide steps around the slopes of hills to plant crops. The flat, wide steps do not allow the water to flow down freely and take away the topsoil. The flat surfaces help to retain the water on the surface for the plant's growth. It also reduces the speed of the water flow, preventing soil erosion. Terrace farming is a labor-intensive task, but it is highly beneficial. Then, counter plowing. Maximum students get confused in both the techniques. So in this, it is a plowing technique that does not alter or change the natural shape of hill slope. It uses the slope as it is to prevent soil erosion. It is possible only when the slopes have counter lines. These are small raised border lines. These lines act as a water break and prevent the free flow of water which causes soil erosion. This technique can absorb the impact of heavy rains and retain the topsoil, preventing it from soil erosion. Now, many of you are having doubts that these both are having some lines and borders. So, what is the difference? The difference is in terrace farming, it is a technique in which artificially cutting of wide steps is done by the labor, and in case of counter plowing, the natural shapes, that is the hill slopes, are used. Then is crop rotation. This is done with the objective of maintaining soil fertility. Different crops are planted in rotation to successively balance soil nutrients. Other agricultural techniques such as terrace cultivation, crop rotation. Other than these, there is afforestation, that is planting of more and more trees, can help a lot in conserving the soil. Then prevention of overgrazing and construction of dams. It can control flooding and can also check soil erosion. Then last topic, water resources. Like land and air, water is also an important component of natural environment. It is not only essential for drinking purpose, but it also provides shelter to many of the organisms. It is a tasteless and colorless substance that covers about 3/4 of the Earth's surface. The Earth is therefore called the water planet or blue planet. There are n number of uses of water. It is vital renewable natural resource of the earth's surface. Different types of plants depends on water for their growth and food. Water is also used in industries. It is also used in day-to-day needs of humans. It is also used for transportation purpose, that is navigation. Then it is used for generating hydroelectricity. Overexploitation, excessive use, and unequal access to water among different areas are the main factors that is responsible for water scarcity. Increasing urbanization, water pollution, and absence of water management are also responsible for choking the fresh water supplies. For multi-purpose projects, dams are constructed and water is collected in a reservoir. So, here we complete our chapter. We have completed all the 3 points: land, soil, and water.